I'm Jake Williams, this is Chasing Cars, and today we've gone bush. We're in Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory at the Mitsubishi Outback Drive event for 2017. We're here to showcase some of the company's SUV range, such as this Pajero Sport, and see what they can do off-road in some of the country's toughest off-roading conditions. You may not be aware of it, but Mitsubishi's legendary reliability reputation comes from cars such as the Pajero and this Pajero Sport, as well as the Triton Ute on which this is based. So, do the modern equivalents of these cars stack up in terms of toughness? Are they as good as their predecessors off-road, and are they still as tough? Well, I've got my adventure hat on, so let's jump into this wonderful part of the world and start finding out. Mitsubishi's newest product, aside from the Eclipse Cross, is the Pajero Sport, which is what we're in now. It's based on the Triton Ute, and it's smaller than the larger Pajero. It's also significantly newer than the Pajero as well. It competes with cars like the Ford Everest and the Toyota Fortuner. As it's based on the Triton, it gets the same 2.4 litre turbo diesel engine, producing 133 kilowatts of power and 430 newton meters of torque. But instead of the 5-speed auto that you get in the Triton, you get an 8-speed auto in this. Unfortunately, there's no 6-speed manual option available with Australian market Pajero Sports, but that's fine because most people are going to go for the automatic anyway. The Pajero Sport's strength is that, like other Mitsubishi SUVs, its off-road ability is fantastic, yet it can also carry 7 people reasonably comfortably. The ride quality is a little bit lumpy, but it is very quiet overall, and it certainly feels a lot newer than, say, a Pajero or the smaller ASX. So, we've driven a lot of cars that are billed as Mitsubishi's past and their present, but this car here is what is billed as the future of the Japanese company and indeed the automotive industry. This is the Outlander PHEV, or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, and it mates a 2-litre petrol engine for the front wheels with a pair of electric motors at the back for the rear wheels. The Outlander PHEV has actually proved to be the surprise of this event. I didn't actually think that Mitsubishi were going to have it because it's not billed as a serious off-roader, more a car for urban families to drive fully electrically to work and school and whatnot. But Mitsubishi has proven themselves with this car because it's remained almost as capable as a Triton or a Pajero in the rough stuff, and the all-wheel drive system from the Lancer Evolution, it's called SWAC, has remained pretty seamless in its delivery of power. It's provided some good grip on off-road situations and even a little bit of fun. It likes to have a little bit of oversteer, and it is reasonably dynamic as well. The Outlander PHEV overall is a very capable car. It's very quiet because of its hybrid system. The road noise is appreciably low, and unlike a car like the ASX, vibrations from undulations haven't actually been felt in the car, so it's good. One of Mitsubishi's biggest locally selling cars is this, the Triton Ute, and there's a number of reasons why. The first of which is that it's very, very good value for money. If you choose one over a comparatively equipped Toyota Hilux, you're going to save about $10,000 to $12,000 in the process. This value equation alone is the reason why Mitsubishi sells in the top 10 cars every month. It simply is unrivaled by other Utes. Being a Ute, it's also very versatile. The cabin is quite roomy and the tray is quite large. Being a Mitsubishi, it's also very cheap to own. You get cap price servicing as well as a 5-year warranty. The Triton is powered by a 2.4 litre turbo diesel engine. Produces 133 kilowatts of power and 430 newton meters of torque, and it can be mated to a 6-speed manual or this 5-speed automatic, which rarely puts a foot wrong aside from being a little bit slow to react to foot input sometimes. On the road, the Triton drives very well. The engine is quite punchy for its size. The ride quality, which is a typical sore point for most Utes, is much less jittery than a Hilux, especially when it's unladen, and the overall dynamics, while not overly car-like or overly dynamic, are still quite pleasing. Off-road, the Triton is much more capable. This top-spec Exceed model has a rear diff lock which helps it further, and the standard low-range gearing, as well as ample ground clearance, help it even further when the going gets tough. One surprise that Mitsubishi had for us at this event is this, the Eclipse Cross. It's a new small SUV that's going to fit above the ASX and fit below the Outlander medium-sized SUV. It competes against cars like the Toyota CHR and the Mazda CX-3, and it's got some new technology like a new infotainment system with a Lexus-like mouse controller, a head-up display in front of the driver, as well as 2 new engines, a 1.5 litre turbo petrol and a 2.2 litre turbo diesel. We can't tell you much as yet, but we know that the car is going to arrive in Australia before the end of the year, priced somewhere above the ASX. The 2017 Outback Drive event has showcased Mitsubishi's strengths as a brand. The Triton and Pajero Sport are reliable and no-nonsense off-roaders that really can take you anywhere, and although the Outlander PHEV and incoming Eclipse Cross may not be as capable off-road, they bring much more to the table, including future-proof drivetrains. Mitsubishi has struggled in the past, but these new offerings combined with the Renault-Nissan alliance should see it flourish in the future, and we believe that the brand's best is truly yet to come.